Private First Class Michael Harris grew up listening to his mother pray. Every single night, she'd whisper prayers for his safety, his future, and for his gentle heart to stay kind. You see, Michael wasn't what you'd call a born warrior. He wasn't loud or fearless by nature. He was thoughtful, deeply emotional, and carried a quiet kindness with him everywhere he went. But something shifted on his graduation day. Standing there, looking up at the American flag waving against the blue sky, he felt a pull, a quiet calling deep in his soul. It was a feeling that told him some dreams, some principles are worth risking everything for. So he made the decision. When Michael enlisted in the U.S. Army, the day was heavy with emotion. His mother's tears fell freely, and his father, a man of few words, held him in a hug that seemed to last a lifetime. Michael looked them in the eyes and promised he would come back. It was a promise he desperately wanted to keep, but deep down, a new understanding was dawning on him. He knew that soldiers don't control fate. All they control is their courage in the face of it. The transition to war was brutal and swift. The easy laughter and camaraderie of training camps quickly faded, replaced by the heavy, unnerving silence of unfamiliar lands. The boy who left home was changing, forged in the crucible of conflict. The nights were the hardest. They were long and suffocating, filled with the distant rumbling thunder of explosions and the whispered prayers of men far from home. In those dark moments, Michael would often find himself touching the small American flag he had sewn inside his uniform. It was his anchor, a tangible reminder of why he was there, what he was fighting for. He wasn't fighting out of anger or hate. He was fighting out of love. Love for his family, love for his brothers in arms sleeping beside him, and love for the ideal of freedom he believed every child in the world deserved to know. One bitterly cold evening, the kind that seeps into your bones, his unit was on a dangerous patrol when the world exploded. An ambush. Chaos erupted, and fear, sharp and electric, struck like lightning. In the confusing storm of gunfire and shouting, Michael heard a cry. It was a sound that cut through all the noise. A young soldier, barely a man, had fallen. He was bleeding, exposed, and utterly alone. The orders were clear, shouted over the din. "Stay back. It's too dangerous. We can't get to him." It was a logical order, a strategic command to prevent more casualties. But Michael's heart didn't hear logic. It heard that cry for help. And so he moved. Every inch he crawled forward felt like a final goodbye. Bullets tore through the air around him, kicking up dirt and rock just inches from his face. He kept going, whispering words of encouragement into the maelstrom, as much for himself as for the wounded soldier ahead. When he finally reached him, he grabbed his hand, held it tight, and said, "You're not alone. I've got you." With a surge of adrenaline, a strength he never knew he possessed, Michael lifted the young man and began the agonizing journey back to safety, using his own body as a shield. Michael was badly injured that night, as the medics frantically worked to save him, their faces grim under the dim light. He pushed through the fog of pain and asked only one question: "Is he okay?" When one of the medics nodded yes, a wave of relief washed over him and tears streamed down his face. They weren't tears of pain, but of gratitude. Michael survived. He physically came home, but a part of him, a part of his soul, remained forever on that battlefield. The homecoming parades and the cheers of the crowd felt distant, like a movie he was watching from afar. He was haunted by memories. Memories of the friends who never came back, of promises left unfinished, of the faces of his fallen brothers. Sometimes he'd find himself at the local memorial, standing silently in front of the cold stone. He would trace the names carved there, whispering to them, "You are not forgotten." He wanted them to know their sacrifice mattered, that they were still loved, still remembered. He found a new purpose, a new mission. He began visiting schools, speaking to children not about the glory of war, but about the true nature of courage. He spoke softly, his voice gentle but firm. He told them that real courage isn't always about fighting. Sometimes it's about protecting. Sometimes it's about forgiving. And sometimes it's simply about enduring when you feel like you can't take another step. He taught them that true bravery means loving something, your family, your country, your principles so deeply that you are willing to stand between it and any harm that comes its way. Michael Harris never ever called himself a hero. If you asked him, he'd say the real heroes were the ones who gave everything and asked for nothing in return, the ones whose names were carved on those memorial walls. But to his family, to his fellow soldiers, and to his nation, he was something more. He was a living symbol of sacrifice, a testament to quiet strength. The United States of America is strong, not just because of its power or its wealth, but because of soldiers like Michael. It's strong because of the brave hearts who bleed, who cry, who carry unimaginable burdens, and still find the strength to stand. Their courage isn't always loud or flashy. It doesn't seek recognition, but it is a courage that echoes forever in the very fabric of the freedom they fought and continue to fight to protect. Thank you for watching and for taking the time to remember the stories of quiet heroes like Michael. If this story moved you, please consider sharing it so that others can hear it too. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that honor courage and sacrifice. We'll see you next time.